Hi guys, welcome back to another book review. Today we're going to talk about Wicked Vengeance. This is book 2 in a duet, and it is really good, so I would like to talk to you guys about this one. This is by Heather Beal. I did receive this, sorry, I'm still fighting off a cold. So I did receive this one as an ARC, and it is actually really, really good. I really did enjoy this one. I do have to say these are very dark books, so be prepared if you are going to dive into these. Dive in being very carefully, because they are dark. There is a lot of trauma that happens inside these books. And so check those trigger warnings. They're definitely going to be needed. So check those trigger warnings before anything else happens, okay? That's just going to be my big one before I go anywhere else in this one. So again, if you have not read book 1, I'm going to be very careful and try to do a review without giving away a whole lot. I try not to give away spoilers, but sometimes stuff slips out, especially when you're going on book 2, book 3. In a series, sometimes things can go. So I'm going to start off with saying this one is going to pick up where book 1 left off. So obviously you are going to need to read book 1 if you want to read this series. You're going to need book 1 or you're going to be lost. It is going to pick up where book 1 left off. You have your female main character. She is definitely going to try to get what she wants. I'm trying to be very careful where I don't give away the ending on book 1. So she's going to try to get her vengeance. She is going to try to get everything that she wanted accomplished done. And she's going to end up in hands that she shouldn't belong in. She's going to end up in situations she shouldn't be in. But while she's in those situations, she's going to make the best of those situations, even if they are trying. She feels like they're breaking her and she feels like she might be losing a little bit of herself over time. She still is going to do her best, and she's going to tear it apart. Like, the female main character in this series is a badass. Let's just be honest. The female main character in this series is not your weak. She's not your timid. She is a full-on badass. And that's just the way it goes on this one. But this one I really felt like, so she's going to go, I really feel like this one is just, you're not going to have your sweet, your demure, like, I know that's really popular right now. You're not going to have that. You're going to have she's going to kick ass. She's kicking ass and taking names. That's just the way it's going to go. Especially when you have she's got her own little harem, her little white shoes romance going on the side. And because we know it's a white shoes, unless, you haven't read book 1, then you don't know it's a white shoes, but this is book 2. So it's a white shoes. Woo, surprise if you didn't know. It's a white shoes. So it's white shoes. So anyways, I do feel like this one, though, if we're going to talk about that, though, we're going to go into the white shoes from there. This one, I think, focuses less on the romance, and because of that, is a little less spicy than the last one, which is fine. This one is really going to focus heavily on the plot and closing the plot and the story out, which is absolutely fine. On book 2, you need to make sure that your books are closing neatly and greatly, and she really does it. She makes sure her plot is closed. She makes sure her book is closing. And, don't get me wrong, she's not neglecting the romance, but the situations that the characters are finding themselves in also as well is going to make it so that the romance can also not be focused on as heavily as well. So take that into consideration if you're considering this book. Or if you've read book 1 and you're like, do I really want to pick up book 2? Yes, you do, because you want to finish up. You want to know. You are going to get your happily ever after in this. I know a lot of people will not pick up a dark romance if they do not know, especially in a series, if they do not know that there is going to be a happily ever after. This is the end of the duet. Yes, there's a happily ever after, but I do have to say she is going to turn this into a series, and there is a setup for the next book she's going to make of the series. So definitely, if you are somebody who loved this book 1 and you're interested in book 2, and you're kind of like, I want to know where the series is going to go, definitely going to want to pick this up, because there is a setup for the end of this book for where it's going to continue to go in the series. So that was actually kind of cool. I really enjoyed that. My big one, I'm going to say, you got some found family. You just got a lot going on this one. But the big one I'm going to say on this one, it moves at a fairly quick pace. Emotional, a lot of trauma that happens. So check those trigger warnings. Definitely got the spice. Definitely got the white shoes. A lot of heartache. It's good. And it moves at a quick pace. And I really like this one. She writes really emotional. It's really heavy. As you know, it is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. If you did not know that, you do now. It is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. Like I said, it's picking up where book 1 left off. So if you really enjoyed book 1, or if you were interested after listening to a little bit of this review, then I definitely would check out, because I love this one, and I think you might too.